So, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Joiah. I am from Valley Stream, Long Island, and I guess I'm a workout fanatic.
You're a workout fanatic,
Yeah.
but have you always been a workout fanatic?
No. Absolutely not.
No, that was a quick answer. No.
Absolutely not. I got into working out when I was overweight.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've worked out before. Like I was an athlete when I was younger, but only because my parents pushed me into it. Like my parents always told me I had to do something. So when I was 3, I got into dancing. By the time I was 8, I was a cheerleader, and I did that up until I was 13. And then I started on the track team, and I did that up until my sophomore year in college.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I found alcohol. After that, I was putting on weight and really making sure I was out of shape, like that, as if it was like a goal to be out of shape.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, but I was so far away because from doing it from 3 years old to 19, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was slim. I ate whatever I want. I was like, I don't need to work out. Clearly, this is how my body is. Like, I'm tiny. And I just packed on weight, and then at one point, my clothes were ripping, and I realized, I was like, you can't walk up a flight of steps without losing your breath. Your clothes are ripping. People think you have kids. They think you're 35. And this was when I was like 22.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, let's just lose the stomach a little bit. And losing the stomach is what, led into other things. Let's tighten up the legs, tighten up the arms a little bit. You know what? Lose that back fat. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
That is awesome. I mean, unfortunately, sometimes that's what it takes, getting to a point where you are in a crisis for you to understand, man, I need to make a change. But had that not happened, maybe you would not care even now.
I wouldn't.
So was that the reason why, like you said, you started putting on weight and whatnot? Was it maybe like a rebellion thing? What was it that really...
I don't think it was a rebellion thing. There were different factors. When I was in college, I wanted to make some extra money, so I became a bartender. And then I felt to perfect my art or the craft of bartending, I need to know what everything tastes like. I need to know what my drinks taste like. And, not to toot my own horn, my drinks taste great. So I was drinking them a lot. Working at a bar, you get free alcohol, you get free bar food. So I was getting free meals and free drinks. So I was taking that on as well. And I was always around, for some reason, I was always around bigger people. So they would always look at me and be like, oh, I can't wait to get to your size. So at that time, I wasn't really thinking about it. I wasn't really thinking like, oh, I'm gaining weight, I'm getting bigger. But then when I would go into stores and my size 4 wasn't fitting anymore, my size 6 wasn't fitting anymore, I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, a reality check.
Yeah, So it was getting the free food that kind of led into me drinking a little bit more. It was being around people who were bigger than me, saying that they wanted to be my size. That just allowed it to keep going. I wasn't around people who were telling me like, hey, you're getting bigger.
Would you prefer that? I mean, would you have preferred that someone told you that? Like, hey, you're getting, man, you're packing on some weight. Or you would have felt, oh, that's offensive.
Probably not. When I did have one of my customers say like, oh, well, how many kids do you have? And I was like, none. He was like, oh, I'm just saying you got a little baby fat, that's all, So, and then I would have them tell me, the other bartender I worked with, she was like a size 00. But we would try to coordinate and do like matching outfit things. And sometimes it really wouldn't work out in my favor. So there was a guy who was like, maybe if you do like a couple crunches, you'll be all right. So, I heard, it was only like 2 comments, but other than that, I was working in a bar where people appreciated my size, and they were like, oh, nah, you just thick. Like, I was a very voluptuous woman. I had meat everywhere. So it was like, nah, you just thick. Like, you look good, you healthy. So I really didn't have people telling me that, but if they did, I probably wouldn't have liked it. I think it had to come from me, which is the same as, like, what I see in the in the gym, working out in the gym, when I'm telling people like, listen, you should probably do this to reach your goals instead of that, and they don't listen to me. They need to realize it for themselves, just the way I need to realize the things I need to do for myself.
And once again, like meeting a crisis, when something happens, you realize, oh man, I'm at a point where I don't feel good. I don't look how you're not reaching your full potential.
Yeah.
And then you get to that point, you're like, I need to make a change. And usually sometimes that's the only thing that does change people. So now, when you started, was it weights, calisthenics? What was your avenue?
It was cardio.
Cardio.
I was not, like I said, I was on the track team, so that's really all I was familiar with.
Okay.
I didn't really lift weights that much. I didn't do calisthenics. When I decided I was going to lose the weight, I was doing cardio twice a day for an hour each time. I would do a half hour on the elliptical, a half hour on the treadmill. And I thought that would keep my curves, but just kind of bring them down, which was false. I lost everything. But yeah, I did that it was just cardio for about a month, from March to April. And then from then I started adding just small weights. I was doing bicep curls with like 7.5 pounds, and I was squatting 20 pounds, thinking that was the weight I needed to get my curves back. And that was false. That didn't work for me. No, that did not work for me. So yeah, I didn't start picking up calisthenics until, like, seriously getting into calisthenics until November of last year.
Okay.
But before then,
which I think was around the same time I met you at the Bar Stars.
At the Bar Stars class. That was my first Bar Stars class in November.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, before then I wasn't really serious with calisthenics. It was months. So I started working out in March of 2013, and then about September is when I picked up powerlifting. And then with powerlifting you can't do that every day.
Yeah, of course not.
So
nervous system.
So for a while I was just, for a little over a year, I was just doing powerlifting, a little bit of cardio in there. And then I was like, I need something else. Like, I need something to fill in these days, because I'm not a fan of cardio and I can't keep doing powerlifting every day. So that's when I was like, calisthenics.
So I just want to touch on a point real quick where you said, you just wanted to lose this stuff but to keep the curves. So and that's a common thing that you hear a lot of women say.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to train, but I don't want to lose this and this. I want to keep this. What would be your recommendation towards that, especially if they're unhealthy, to begin with? What would be your recommendation if I don't want to lose this, I want to keep this, but
honestly, that's the same. Like I said, that's the same mentality I have. So no one kind of gave me, that look like, well, you're gonna look pretty stupid. So that's the look that's the look that I get. Okay, so you want a six-pack, but about the dangling bingo arms you have and the cellulite in your legs and all that back fat, what are you gonna do about that? Your six-pack doesn't look good with that. So we're gonna have to work that out too. But I tell them, like, you can keep your curves. Like, honestly, women have, anatomically, women have the best looking bodies as far as our curves go. If you just lift the weight properly, you don't have to be bulky. No one's saying to look like a man. No one's saying to sneak in.
The misconception that a lot of women have.
And a lot of women that come to me like, I don't want to be bulky and look like a man. Well, if you're sneaking testosterone before you go to bed or something and you're not telling me, then, unless you're doing that, you're not going to look like a man. You're just going to really emphasize the curves that you already have. So you can keep, the curvy thighs and the glutes that you have, just work on it. And the thing that I did, because I felt like getting a six-pack was really, really hard, I'm just going to create an illusion, get a bigger back, get bigger legs.
There you go.
There are ways around that.
And that's finding what works for you.
Yeah, finding what works for you. And I don't feel like there's a set ingredient list for everybody in fitness.
Nope.
You have to find out what works for you.
Trial and error, that's the only way.
Yeah, it is trial and error. When people ask me what I eat, I'll tell them, but then I'm like,
that doesn't mean
it's not going to work for you. Because I've tried what other people were eating, and I'm like, I'm just getting bigger and bigger.
Yep. Exactly. And since we're talking about eating, what was the diet change like? How were you eating before, and then when you started, transforming, losing the fat, what was the diet like? What was that transition like?
I went cold turkey.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people can't do that, but that was me. I went from bar foods, so it was chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, burgers. That was on a regular basis. I would have double cheeseburgers, at least 4 of them a day. I would have like 2 before going into work and then 2 after work, 20-piece nuggets, a lot of alcohol. I drank at least 3 times a day, so I would have a shot of Henny for breakfast. I would have maybe another cup in the middle of the day, and then I'd put a shot of Hennessy in my wine at night to put me to sleep. That was just a regular basis. Then if I went out on the weekends, obviously pre-game and then what you have, while you're out at the club. So I had a lot of alcohol, a lot of fried foods, processed foods. And then when I decided I was going to transition, get into shape, I had a game night at my house to get rid of everything. Because I don't believe in throwing out food, but I wasn't eating it. So, I had my friends come over and they finished the alcohol. I always had more alcohol than I did anything else in my fridge. So they finished the alcohol, they finished the food. And then from there, everything was healthy. Well, for the first month or two, it was what I thought was healthy. So I would always cook everything myself. But the portions were off. So I was eating what a man should be eating. So I was having big chunks of potato. I would have a whole potato with 3 chicken breasts and my vegetables broccoli on the side or something like that. And to be honest, I wasn't working out hard enough for that. So I didn't need to. And then I was having 3 large meals a day, which that didn't really work for me. So in May, that's when I transitioned. I took all whites out. The
carb, you talking about the
carb? All white carbs came out. I was never on a no carb diet because I understood the importance of carbs. Yes. So I was never on a no carb diet. I just did white carbs. I did a lot of them. So I took those out. I went to spelt. I had sweet potatoes, brown rice.
Complex carbs.
Yeah, all my complex carbs I had. And then I brought the portion sizes down. And then I was making sure to have a breakfast and then a snack, lunch and then a snack, dinner and then a snack. So that was, making it a little bit easier. And then I think it was last year. Yeah, around last year is when I really got a little more serious with it. And I figured out what was really going to work for me because, before I was having carbs all throughout the day. Now what works for me is to have, my starchy carbs in the beginning of the day and then just fibrous carbs for the rest of the day with protein. So a typical day for me is steel cut oats with flaxseed and cinnamon. That's my breakfast. Sometimes I'll throw eggs in there for, extra douse of protein. Yeah. So then after that, I'll have a rice cake. So those are my carbs. That's it for starchy carbs for the day. Then I'll have...
For the day?
Yeah, starchy carbs for the day. Yeah, so then I'll have arugula with spinach and some baked chicken. That's my salad. That's my homemade salad that I'll make. I'll have carrots after that, and then another salad similar, maybe fish or chicken with arugula, spinach, and then after that I'll have celery or fennel.
So ensuring that you get those, vitamins and minerals from the greens, the vegetables, which, people don't like, but once you understand what they do for your body.
Let me tell you, there's nothing about the meals that I eat in a day that I like. Every time I eat a piece of baked chicken with no salt on it, I pretend it's fried chicken. I think those meals are disgusting. I'm not telling people that it's going to be easy and that it's going to taste good, but when, I'm out in the park or something, or I'm in the gym and I'm getting too hot, I could pull my shirt off. Because I'm making no sacrifices. Don't get me wrong. I'll still, I'll have a donut here and there. I'll have my cheat meals. But I'm not eating that every day like how I used to because I want to be comfortable with myself.
So, yeah, definitely. I agree with you there as well. And one thing for me, with the diet, as far as that's concerned, I'm like, man, I'm not going to eat this cow diet where you're eating grass and things like that. But understanding that, no, it doesn't work like that. You could find foods that do taste good, but you have to know what is in them. People they especially here in America, most of the foods that we eat are empty calories or low nutrient density, and that's why we're always eating because our body is not doing anything wrong. It's looking for that nutrients. Right. And when we're hungry, eating, our body is in search of that nutrients, and we're not giving it to it. So, we're just putting on all that extra weight that we don't need because of those empty calories. So finding food, like you said, that benefit the body. You're like, it's not going to taste the best. It's not going to taste like a grilled chicken, what's it called? A burger with all the grease and all that. It's not going to taste like that. But think about what it's doing to your body. And when you understand that, it makes it a lot easier. You don't even really think about too much about how it tastes. And that's one thing for me, and I've heard what you're saying again, and I hear a whole bunch of people who are in shape, fit, and care about their body, say something similar. So it comes back again to a lifestyle change. Had you remained, in that whole mode of, okay, drink, alcohol, eat, and you're like, but I want to get in shape. But had you remained in that mindset, would it be possible to be where you are right now?
No.
No, simple. No, there's no.
Yeah, there's just absolutely no way. I may have gotten stronger because of the weight, the weight that I was lifting. I would have gotten stronger at a slower pace because I wasn't feeding my body what it needed. But I wouldn't look the way I look now, and I wouldn't be able to move how I move. I'd definitely be more fatigued. It would just be like sludge going into my body. And I tell people all the time, like, you can't just fill the tank with whatever you want and expect it to run smoothly.
Nope.
So if you go to the gas station, you're like, you know what, let me just have a Gatorade. I'm going to put that in my tank instead because gas is expensive. Where do you think your car's going to go? You can't just throw anything in there. And that's how I treat my body when it comes to, eating fast foods and stuff like that. That's basically you dropping sugar water in your gas tank.
Exactly. I agree. Good point there. As far as that's concerned, what you put in your body. Now, I just want to, touch on habit creation, how you were able to build the habits to, continue to work out. Because starting, yes, we can start, but continuing and keeping the consistency, we know you have to build the habit of, eating right, doing exercise, and doing those essential tasks in order to advance. So what was the habit process, like the habit building process?
So when I started in March, I actually had worked out 3 times in 2012, and just literally three times for the whole year. And I was like, I'm not seeing results. This is stupid. I'm just gonna go back to drinking and eating. So in March when I started and I was a little more serious about it, I took pictures of myself from 3 different angles every single Monday. And I wrote down every single workout that I did so I can track my progress. To make sure like I wasn't repeating the same thing too much, that I was actually advancing, and I write comments, on the treadmill after 15 minutes, lost my breath, write things like that. So the next time I know, if I make it to 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, great, you're improving. So I did that for a long time. What I implemented recently, earlier this year, is a chart where basically it says I have to, I put myself on different programs. So you have to lift 3 times a week, do calisthenics at least 5 times a week, cardio 5 times a week, and core 5 times a week. So I check it off. So if I see there aren't enough checks next to something, I'm like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I know I'm not staying consistent with it. So basically for me, I'm a visual learner. Everything I do is visual. So I can see, like I said, I was taking the pictures of myself every Monday. So whenever I got discouraged and I'm like, this just isn't working for me. Like, I feel like I'm not losing any weight. And I would scroll through the pictures, and I'm like, never mind going to the gym because it's clearly working. And then when I was writing down things, I remember writing down an L-sit in my notebook. That's what I was going to try for the day, was an L-sit. And I wrote fail. Now L-sits are, like, I can eat my dinner in an L-sit. It's nothing for me. So I made sure I kept doing it over and over again. So writing everything down and taking pictures, that's what really helped me to stay consistent and setting goals. So I'm like, I have to work towards something, participating in events. So I would do a Spartan race. Well, I already paid for it and I'm in it. So I guess now I have to train, now I have to work towards at least getting a decent time. I'm not going to finish a 3-mile Spartan race in 5 hours. So get it together. Yeah.
So keeping yourself accountable, which I think is probably the most important thing, keeping yourself accountable. Yeah. Because without accountability, it's like, okay, well, I don't have to. It's something I need to do, but I don't have to do it. But when you keep, you make it your duty and obligation, saying, nope, I'm keeping myself. Because people say, if I don't have a partner, which I do think having a partner is very, important, having a group of people. But getting, because if they're advancing, they're not going to wait for you.
Right.
They're going, and then even if they're doing stuff on their own, you're going to have to keep up by doing, things on your own as well. So keeping yourself accountable. So having that system, which that's what it is, a system of accountability, taking the pictures, taking the,
the
chart, which is very important. And what would you say is one of the, obviously all of them come together, but what would you say is like maybe the number one contributing factor to you remaining consistent once again?
I think it might be the photos.
The photos.
Yeah, me actually seeing. Because, you know, I might go back and look at the chart and be like, well, I only worked out 3 times that week, but what was wrong with me? You know, was I okay? Was something injured? So I might try and make up an excuse for it if I look back at it and see there wasn't enough checks there. But you know, the results just are not gonna lie. If I'm looking at if I'm looking at pictures and I'm seeing change, you know, and there have been times where I would look at pictures where I would see my body get smaller and then see it get bigger again. So it happens. I haven't been perfect throughout this whole this journey, but you know, the pictures I can really see. All right, you were slacking here. Like there's no excuse for that. You were slacking.
And it makes it easier to know, okay, this is what I'm doing right because it's working. Whatever. And then you see if you're doing it for too long, you're like, okay, maybe I need to switch it up and try something different. Now, let me ask you a question because more over the women, they pay attention to the scale. I mean, what is your take on the scale? What do you think about that?
I use that for fun. Right now I'm at 142 pounds, looking to head up to 145. When I started the fitness journey, I was 177 pounds, looking to drop to 125. When I got down to 134, I was like, this is too small. And when obviously, I'm getting down to 134 and coming down, I had passed 142 and I was like, this isn't right. I don't like this. Now I'm trying to go back up, so the scale doesn't mean too much. For me, what I use is, measurements. If I'm trying to, get my arms or my legs a certain size, how do I feel? How do my clothes fit? How do I look? How am I performing? Because I look at women, especially being into powerlifting, I look at women who are 104 pounds who lift more than me. And I look at women who are 180 pounds and lift more than me. So the weight clearly doesn't matter. They both look great. It's just how are you performing?
And how you, understanding, sorry, 1 second. Understanding how you feel. So understanding your body, and that's one thing. That's why it comes down to the plan, like trial and error. You understand, okay, I do this type of workout, I eat this food, and it makes me feel, energized. I feel, like I'm making progress. My body's getting stronger. So that's why it's important, like you said, understanding who you are.
Yeah.
Don't try and copy, make a carbon copy based on someone else's experience and their plan of what they've done. So obviously you don't always feel motivated.
No.
Yeah. If it's one thing that we know, you're not always motivated. Anyone who works out, it doesn't matter how advanced or how successful, you're not always going to feel motivated. But how do you get past those, dips in motivation? You're not motivated, but you have to go and do it. What are some practices you would do?
Well, one of actually the silliest things that I do is I dress for the workout. So I have, shirts that say kooky little things on it. Like today says Save the Boobies. It's a breast cancer awareness shirt, but today's chest day for me.
Okay.
So that's going to hold me accountable. You already have the shirt on. You might as well just go in there and, bench press. So that's one of the silly things that I do. If I'm wearing knee-high socks, it's deadlift day. Get in there and do your deadlifts. But also, being a personal trainer, I don't ever want my clients stronger or in better shape than me. So that's really what pushes me. I saw one of my clients bench, when he first came in a couple months ago, he was bench pressing 95 pounds. And now he's at 145. And I was like, oh no, 165 on the bar. Let's go.
And client, she has the best intentions for you guys.
Yes, I do. I want you to get stronger, but never stronger than me. So you guys continue to push me. So I definitely, always want to, that's how I motivate my clients. I want to motivate my clients like that. If I pass my client a weight and I'm like, listen, let me go get you a spotter because there's really nothing I can do for you here. It's like, wait, who's training who?
Exactly. I hear that. I definitely hear that 100%. And now that we're talking about clients, what are some main problems, that people would, clients come and ask you? They're like, well, this is what I want to do. How do I do it? What is a common thing you hear when dealing with clients?
I hear clients who, especially working with females, they want a flat stomach, but they don't want to give up anything. Oh, come on. Can I just have one drink a day? Could you just sacrifice so that, you don't have to have that? I'm like, you don't need the drink. And, a lot of my clients, when they first meet me, they think I just look like this all the time. Since I was a kid, I came out the womb like this, in shape. And they're like, no, you don't understand what it's like. And I'm like, oh.
I don't.
You think so? You think I don't understand what it's like to give up alcohol? Okay. So that's a big issue. And, I deal with guys also who are like, yeah, I want to put on muscle. So I make sure with them, like, what are you eating? Tell me every day what you're eating. And they're like, yeah, I had a sandwich for breakfast. It's 5 o'clock. What else did you eat?
Yeah, people think if you don't eat, you lose weight. Well, yes, you lose weight, but that is not effective at all.
Not healthy.
Messing with your metabolism, a whole bunch of long-term stuff that you're not benefiting your body
No,
with.
not at all. So yeah, nutrition is a major, major issue. And then when I'm telling my clients, like, ideas, like, you don't want to eat exactly like me, but, for your goals, for your weight, this is what you should be eating. You should be trying to hit this. And they're like, I can't do that. I'm I'm like, and I tell them, once you send that message to your body, that's it. It's out there, postage stamp and everything. So your muscles are like, listen, we're not doing this for the day. Brain said, we're not doing it. I said the same way you can walk up to something, walk up to a counter and say, and pick up, a Kit Kat. The brain told the hand, pick it up. Mm-hmm. That's the same way the brain can tell the hand to get on the floor and do push-ups. It's just whatever message you're sending out there. You don't want to have, a negative attitude towards anything.
Mindset is everything.
Yeah, it is. This whole thing is mental, to be honest. This whole thing. I've been under weights that, I've repped out before, especially when I'm squatting. There are weights that are light for me, but the minute I get under there, like, you know what, today's just not the day. I'm not going to lift it. I don't lift it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And once again, it always comes to understanding yourself and being 100% honest. You know yourself. You're like, okay, I know I'm not going to quit, but today's just not the day. Yeah. I don't feel, that motivated. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back.
Yeah,
and sometimes people keep going and overwork themselves without taking the, break, because breaks are important for the body to re-heal.
Absolutely.
And so, understanding your body, listening, like, okay, I don't feel 100% today. I'm going to take it easy. I come back harder next time. So what are some questions that people starting out should ask themselves? Because obviously, before they're asking questions to anybody else, they should ask, okay, what do I need to do to get in shape? And that would be, okay, ask somebody who's competent in that area and get set. So what are some questions that you think people should ask themselves before getting started?
Are you willing to make this commitment? Because it is a commitment. You are in a relationship with yourself, and you want it to be a healthy relationship. So when you ask yourself, am I willing to make this commitment? Am I willing to turn down my friends for, happy hour every day? Am I willing to, go out to the supermarket, buy all the healthy stuff, come home, cook it, and that's what I'm going to eat? I think that's the biggest thing is the commitment. Are you ready to commit? Because you don't want to get into something and you do it for like a week or 2 weeks, and then that's it, you're out of it. Because now mentally you're like, man, I'm a quitter. At least if you didn't start at all, you're not a quitter. You just didn't start. But you don't want to be a quitter, and you just want to keep going, keep pushing yourself throughout the entire journey, and know that you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Tell yourself that. Tell yourself you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Things are not going to taste good.
Yep.
You're going to be in pain. You're going to sweat. All that stuff is going to happen. But it's best for you in the long run. I think it saves a lot more money as far as like your health expenses.
Exactly. Medical bills, buying medication, buying it. So you think down the road. You think, okay, in 18 years, 20 years, 30 years, what am I going to look like based on the lifestyle that I'm living right now? If I continue, will I be, energized, full of energy, or would I be, visiting the doctor every other day to make sure that, my diabetes is in check, to make sure, there's no cancer growing in my body?
Right.
Because, so, you don't want that to be something that's dwelling on your mind when you could. And it's in your control. That's the thing. It's in your control.
Most definitely.
To get up and, get active. Obviously, we can't control everything that happens to us. Right. But the things that you can control, like getting up and working out and minimizing the risk, making it not so likely to happen of getting, diseases. Because most of the diseases that we get are based on our lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not like, back in the day where, you have all these contagious things going around. It's stuff that we can control.
Yep.
So once again, that extremely good, insight on that.
And dealing with health. I mean, I'm still fairly young, but I've already dealt with health issues when I was unhealthy. And I had, my doctor looking at me like, I don't really know what this is. So there was one time quite a few times, but one time where I brought it to my doctor where I broke out from the back of my ears all the way down to my feet. Full body, front to back. And I told him about it, and he was like, are you using anything, different, any detergent? I was like, no, all my detergent is the same. I don't use any dye or nothing scented. I said, but this happens every time I start to, get extremely excited, extremely angry. Like, it's affected by extreme emotion. And he was like, I don't know what that is. Gave me some steroids. It was gone in a couple of days, and that was it. There was, another time where I was in the hospital for a ruptured ovarian cyst. And all these things are happening, when I'm like 22 years old.
Yep.
And the minute I got in shape and switched up my diet, all that stuff is gone. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I had terrible eczema. I don't have to deal with that anymore because of the way that I'm eating.
That's the thing. The things that you put on the inside of your body,
it just comes
come
right out.
That's it. So, and I could attest to that as well because, I've had severe staph infections where the doctor's like, man, it's like the worst I've ever seen. And it was based on my diet, eating a whole bunch of simple carb, sugary stuff and was feeding it. And, switched up my diet, started, taking garlic as, natural antibiotic, flushing out, doing detox, and not putting all that junk in my body because I was drinking sodas and eating all these sugary stuff every day. And that, simply that's what happened. So I think people do underestimate the importance of diet. They think, I just go and work out. I'm going to get in shape. That's it.
Yeah, diet is not just for, aesthetics.
Exactly.
It's for how your body's functioning. So if you're eating properly, your body all your body wants to do is take care of you.
That's it.
If you just give it the right, ingredients, the right tools that it needs to take care of you, you're fine. You guys will work together.
That's it. And food is not just a source of fuel, for you to do work.
Right.
Food, you get the micronutrients from that, and that helps, obviously repairing essential, cells in the body, organs, and all those functions that you need to operate at an optimum level.
Right.
You need those micronutrients, which I think a lot of people tend to ignore. They just think about, proteins, carbs, fat.
I know, the macros.
Yeah, the macros. Like, oh man, I just want to get swole, and that's it. But now understanding that everything can happen, smoother, you feel a lot better.
Yeah.
To me, like, I'd rather feel better than look better. That's
Absolutely.
really, my thing.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be out of shape at the, not out of shape. I don't want to look good at the expense of, how I feel.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
So that is, my take on that. People don't ignore what's really important. And one thing, like chasing just the aesthetics, they'll do anything. They'll take all these supplements. And matter of fact, let me ask you something about supplements. What do you think about supplements? What's your take on that?
Well, I will take protein powders only after I lift.
Okay.
So I don't take them every day. I don't need them every day. I feel like that's what works for me. I take it for me. So I'll take a protein powder after my 3 heavy lifts for the week, after legs, chest, and back. And that's it. As far as fat burners, never in my life have I taken one. I don't take fat burners, don't take any type of steroids, no testosterone booster, none of that stuff. I don't take it all.
As
natural as possible. And the protein I take is beef protein.
Okay. Yeah. So, and the specific reason, and just, touch on why protein is important especially after, doing
for repair.
Work.
If you're gonna knock a brick house down and you don't have cement to put it back up, you try and put it back up with tape.
Yeah, it's not gonna be.
It's not gonna work. So I make sure, I restore my glycogen after my workouts too. So I do have my sugars. That's already in the protein mix I take. It's already in there. So I just need to, recover. I definitely need to recover and repair my muscles.
Definitely, and once again, I just want to follow up on that. The repairing process. What type of, do you set breaks? Okay, I'm going to work out, blah, 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 X amount of days, and then take a break for this time. Do you have, like, designated rest periods, or are you just based on how you feel?
There's, throughout the week, it's on how I feel.
Okay.
But every 4 weeks, well, the 5th week is a deload week.
Okay.
So you come back, so you come back down completely for the whole week. There's no heavy lifting at all. But yeah, throughout the week, it's typically legs Monday, and then chest or back will be Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. So I'll rest Wednesday. Friday will be like cardio core. Saturday calisthenics, up with the bar stars, and then Sunday's rest.
Okay.
Because I'm going to need every ounce of energy for Monday leg day.
There you go. There you go. And understanding, that's the largest muscle group.
Yeah.
And you need a lot of like you said, energy for that. And so, deloading obviously for the whole purpose of, lessening the intensity or the volume, and giving your body time to repair. Because your body gets stronger when it's resting, when it's repairing. The stimulus is just, lifting the weights and whatnot. That's when you're doing the damage, but the actual repair, which is the important part, because you don't want to keep damaging, and not giving, time for your muscles to repair. So the diet, obviously, nutrition, high point there, and focusing on rest. So if there were three principles that you would give maybe your clients or someone looking to begin and stay consistent, get started, what would you tell them?
Well, I always tell them it's the holy trinity of fitness. It's, sleep, nutrition, exercise. If one is out of balance, the other two aren't going to work. Those are really the three main ones that I keep together. I tell them you have to eat right. And eating right is not just what you're eating. It's when, when you're eating it, how far apart. Like, you don't need a full meal every half hour. That's unnecessary. So, what you're eating, when you're eating, and portion control. As far as exercise, consistency. I always tell people, like I mentioned before, it's a relationship with yourself. So if you try to get into a relationship with somebody else and you talk to them once a week or once every other week, that relationship isn't going anywhere.
No consistency.
Yeah, so don't go in
What's going on? No communication.
Don't go in the gym once a week, once every other week, and expect to have a long-standing outcome from that. You have to stay consistent. And then with sleep, I hear a lot of my clients, they're saying, oh, well, my job, I can't sleep. I say, you know what, your job could fire you tomorrow and they'll never care about your health. So you need to get your rest. You're eating right and you're exercising, you're not sleeping, so throw that out the window. You might as well just be eating McDonald's and sitting at home. So you need all three of them. And, a lot of times people ask me, I work in the gym late, so I'll get home, after 11. If somebody wants me to come and work out at 5 in the morning, that's not happening. Where am I getting my sleep? Eventually I'm going to be a cranky, out of shape trainer, and then what am I selling you? What product am I selling you? Because that's basically what it is. When, as a trainer, you're
yourself.
This is it. This is my my business card right here. When you look at me, and I'm selling you this product.
That's very, very good. I agree with that 120%. That the holy trinity of
fitness.
Fitness. That's it. Right there. So where can people find you? Social media, website, where do you...
Yes, I am on Instagram at The Barmaid. It's THE_BARMAIDE. I'm on Facebook at Joiah L, JOIAHL. And then I'm on Twitter at Mama J, Your Highness, MAMAJ_URHINESS.
Okay, so just to make that simple, it will be in the description.
Yes.
You'll be able to click on the link and you'll get all that information there. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
And that was very valuable information.
Thank you.
I hope, I know people will be able to take some good points away from that.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Thanks again. Take care, guys.